Profanity Nation.
Yeah, it's the new era of man for some old school fans with a new school brand. We got money on the mic with the plan in hand. And Stat Pat to his left, they go hand in hand. And to the right, we got Simpster, he putting it down. It's the Profanity Nation, we running the town. Yeah,
It's the Profanity Nation.
Profanity Nation.
Hey, welcome to the show. Welcome to the Profanity Nation podcast, where we are the voice of the professional fan. We're back this week. We're going to break down Lakers. We're going to break down Lakers talk. But we also have a guest with us. Before we get to that, let's introduce my co-host, as we always do, Mr. Money Mike. What's going on, Money?
Man, I'm great, man. I want to go and talk some real educated LeBron conversation today. Okay. Some Lakers. Got the Pay's Laker fan here. Going to introduce him. Absolutely. I definitely got some things to tell him.
Okay, okay. So we know he'll call it straight, too. Stat Pat.
What's up,
Stat Pat, how you feeling?
We good, man. We good, man.
We good? All right.
Yeah, dude.
You ready to roll?
Yeah.
You're worried there. I see
okay,
you're a little nervous.
Yeah, let's get it.
What is this going to be?
Oh, it's going to be great.
Yeah, this will be great.
One of the highest rated shows we got, man.
And with no more delay,
we're going to do Cat Williams back numbers.
We've got Petty the Laker. Just give your
I'm the pettiest Laker fan. What's up, y'all?
The pettiest Laker fan on Twitter, and you're also on Instagram, but mainly X. Sorry.
Yeah, X.
And then I understand you also host a show or something.
Oh yeah, I do this. I host a show. At Infinity Studios. It's called Culture Vultures.
I heard that's a real dope studio,
dope,
man.
Yeah. I've heard we've gotten some good reviews. So
yes, and I heard the show's really great.
Taking off, baby.
So definitely, no joke. There's a show.
You had a couple of special guests already on the show.
Already,
right?
yes. So you
little buzz.
Yeah, a little something.
Yep.
Something like
InfinityTV.com. Don't miss it. We've got Petty on Culture Vultures, and that airs, if I'm right, every Friday at 2 p.m.
You got it.
That's it, guys. And
Boom.
there's some big guests on that show, that's for sure, because, Petty's got some connections. He ain't messing around. All right, guys, so let's get to it. Let's just start with this. Okay, the Lakers have the same exact record at this time of year as they did last year. Last year, obviously, they did a tremendous turnaround at the trade
We're not making the
deadline.
playoffs.
Are we expecting that? Let's start with Petty.
We ain't making the playoffs.
Are we expecting...
I'm giving Petty. You respond. Can you start with you?
Can we expect the same turnaround 2 years in a row?
Yes.
Okay. Why?
Because my boy Rob Pelinka, this is his time of year. You know what I'm saying? St. Patrick's Day, that's the leprechaun's time of year. You know what I'm saying? Christmas, you got, Santa Claus time of the year. But the trade deadline,
is Pelinka.
That is Rob Pelinka. And unlike those of us, he's a real entity. So I think that Rob Pelinka's got something cooking. Petty sources, that's all I'm saying.
All right. Well, it definitely seems like there's some things in the works, Pat. They definitely have to do something.
I got a question.
What's up?
Are they talking about trading LeBron for somebody else?
Yeah, they actually talk about trading you.
I like it. I'm not hating.
Yeah, I'm just wondering.
Stat. Okay, so we obviously there's going to be some sort of trades. We don't know if they're going to be blockbuster.
They could
trades.
trade him to Detroit. That way he could go play with his son next year.
Okay, at some we're going to get to that.
Okay.
Just hold your horses.
All right.
There's plenty of time.
I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be happy.
Let's talk Lakers right now.
All right, cool.
Stat.
Yeah.
Heading into the trade deadline, there are a lot of moves that made a huge difference to this Lakers team, and they made a massive turnaround last year. But we said it all last season, and we've been talking about this. It's not the same. Last season was an anomaly. The West wasn't particularly strong. Any one team wasn't, moving away with it. 60-win teams. This year, it looks like it's going to be different. Is there that move out there? Is there anything in the wire, anything you're hearing of that player? I know DeJounte Murray, all these things are out there, but is that a game changer for the Lakers?
I mean, it could be. I would have more confidence in the move if I knew my coach would be playing the players like he's supposed to be playing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we wanted this depth to enhance what we already had that we thought was consistent. The depth was to help that out, not to replace it. Like, they were not supposed to come in and replace those players. They would come in, Terrion Prince would come off the bench and help Hachimura.
Yep.
It was supposed to help.
It wasn't one or the other.
It wasn't like Cam Reddish comes in and he's taking minutes where you like, why are we not doing, at least try it out? At least try the lineup that we had before and try it out and have a good, consistent 25-game run. Look at it, reassess, then make necessary changes. You're looking like you don't know what you're doing. So even if we do make a deal, remember, last year, we only know about Hachimura and Austin Reeves because of injuries. Because really, he had no other play but to play.
Into it.
He fell into it. He wasn't masterstroke. That wasn't a masterstroke. Mm-hmm. He fell into that. Okay, Walker was hurt. Okay, it was like Schroeder was hurt. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. He was like, he had to throw these guys in, and they performed. And it was like, well, hell, let's not mess with a good thing.
But then we did this season.
But then we go ahead and we mess it up. So, like, it doesn't really matter who we get. I don't have confidence that the players that are balling and getting minutes, that's supposed to get minutes, Taurean Prince should not get 25 to 30 minutes a game. Should not get that many games.
Go ahead, please. Before we move on, can I push back a little bit on this? Because
of course.
I think all the criticisms that we have for most of the criticisms that we've had for Coach Ham, they've been fair. But I also think when you have a new coach, there's growing pains. That's just the fact of it. But he's shown us in the playoffs that he can make like the right changes. He coached well in the playoffs. I think there was a few things that like maybe throughout the Nuggets series that I would say maybe we could have won a game or two because of. But I also think that team was where we peaked at. I think
Denver was going to the top. No, we weren't stopping them.
Yeah. So my point being is at the highest level, I feel like that that he can coach like in a playoff setting, and to me that's more important. It is an art, and it's important because you need to get in the playoffs, But I think that I have a little bit more faith that if we make the right changes, and also I think the biggest thing that no one's really talked about this season, the biggest issue to me with him as coaching is the fact that he changed from a 4-out offense to a 5-out. I think that was the kiss of death for it because we don't have the roster for that type of offense, and he has no experience coaching that type of when he came from Budenholzer, which is 4-out. So I think that for me that is the main key, and I think as long as we have the 5-out in this roster, that it's not gonna work. And I think that the players may be casualties to your point, but I don't think he's a bad coach.
Okay, so with that being said, I mean, because we are saying that he when he gets into situations where the pressure's on, he does make necessary adjustments.
I don't think it's a situation with the pressure. I think it's a situation where the rotation shortens and he doesn't have the pressure to play more than 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. So right now, why are we not? So why because if we're gonna give him the credit before being, having this tactical mind in the pressure playoffs, why is he making like bonehead blunders and going ahead and all of a sudden breaking up something that actually worked? And like you said, to your point, going from 4 out to 5 out, especially when you don't have the personnel, like that's literally on you, sir. That's not on anybody else.
Yeah,
that is literally squarely on the coach. And that's a coach that he has to own that, and he's literally going and making these weird changes throughout the year.
Well, you can't change that. You can't change your offense this far into the season. And they won and I would say part of the answer to it is also the in-season tournament. I think that there's a degree, a level that players, even if it was for a game or two, that players were getting up to at a speed and a physicality, and much to the credit of the tournament, which it was very enjoyable. Entertaining, and that's what it's ultimately for. Before people start hating on it. I can already see the hate coming.
I'm just listening.
Steam coming off.
You're a visitor show, so I'm just listening to your perspective.
No. But I think players are not accustomed to getting to that level. You even had Austin Reeves, who the people were laughing about or upset that coach was saying about keeping him fresh. Well, he also played through the summer with the internet with Team USA, and then they're also having to get to this playoff level. And there's validity to it. It's just the thing that with him is that like you're never gonna get the emotional reaction that you want sometimes, and it's just not satisfying. Any answer he's going to give you is not going to be satisfying as a coach.
That's
no
true.
matter
Money Mike.
Yeah, take his hands out of his pockets.
So what we're hearing from this side of the room,
that side
is that essentially we have to tolerate some growing pains because it's a new coach who's working on rotations, still figuring out his own offense, whether he wants to go 5 out, 4 out, whatever that might be, what he thinks works best within his scheme. You like to put a lot of the onus. You put it on players. You believe players need to produce. Okay, is it more coaching? Is it players? What's going on?
So here's the thing. There's so many things I don't understand, right? Because what happens is we see them playing.
We can explain them to you. Let's go.
No, we see them playing bad basketball.
Yep.
Then we've seen them jail and play great basketball. And then we go back and see them play bad basketball. And then our narrative, that every time we talk about the Lakers and what they're doing is always an area based on what we're seeing on the court. And so there has to be something else going on in the middle of it because, look.
Like a tournament.
Look, we could go back last season.
So is it acceptable that then coach is coaching the team differently for a in-season tournament versus regular season wins?
But we could back up.
We're in uncharted territory though when it comes to this. We don't know what the long-term effect of some of them because they are. The facts are we saw competition, playoff level competition in those, and playoff level rotations, which might be a credit to. Hey, why are we seeing them play really well in these high stakes playoff situations when LeBron is one of the best players in history? If you're saying, hey, just go win a game for me, like you can count on LeBron for winning a game. Like if you're just him by himself, like being on a team for the most time of his career.
With that?
A game.
One word.
You know my thought? This is my thought. I'm not paying this dude $44 million for him to win a game. There's 82 of them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Can LeBron?
What about games? Game 7.
Be responsible.
I'm talking about a playoff set.
Do you trust that if Braun needs to get us that win, that he can do it?
Like if LeBron needs to get us one win in a playoff series, for one game.
LeBron, who
it always depends who it's against. He wasn't going to get that against Denver.
Yeah, I don't think
so.
I mean,
that's not his fault.
There were a couple of shots.
If he didn't shoot those threes,
if he didn't have
those threes, he would have won.
He's going to appreciate this because I have criticism for LeBron in that first game versus the Nuggets. He played terrible, and Anthony Davis had one of his best performances.
Yep.
If
first half.
LeBron left, yeah, that's true. But LeBron left that court. I remember with his because he's like this one got away from us but he was dealing with the foot injury. I'm not saying that is an excuse because if you're gonna miss shots and you're not shooting,
or you don't play.
Yeah, you play or you play. I'm just saying though, it's confirmed that he was dealing with that injury because we look at how much better he's shooting this season from the 3-point and just in general. So trust but verify, right? So that is my thing because the in-season tournament is like part of this.
What I'm asking for is, and I don't actually at this point don't even care what it is. I literally just want some form of consistency. Like I don't understand how you could play. I could turn the game on and I could see you guys just playing with energy, wanting to win the game, doing everything it takes, and the ball may bounce, we may lose it, but you see their energy on the court, and then you see other games where you go, oh man, hey, we ain't gonna play, we just gonna pass the ball and not do anything. Like that's what I can't stand, and I really want to pinpoint where that's coming from. Yeah, like because
Now that would be valid coaching.
How can we? But see, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So but that's my question. Like, how do we blame coaching? Do we blame the players? Do we play a combination of both?
Or the culture in general?
Or the culture of it? Because I really look. I know this is egregious in what I'm saying, but I really feel that LeBron walk in and the players go, "Hey, yo, LeBron, we gonna win this game today?" And LeBron's like, it don't matter." And then they play like that. And then I think LeBron comes in and says,
he thinks it's that play.
I think LeBron comes in and says, hey, y'all, we got to get this one. We playing so-and-so. We got to get this game. And then they play like that. I really
Question.
Yes, go ahead.
Then why does he only say that in certain games?
Because I think only certain games mean are important to him. So it was only important for him.
Only to him, right?
Yeah. So, because I think being the first to get that trophy was important to him.
It was important to a lot of people.
It was important to him. What I'm saying is,
because it was
the Lakers,
him,
it's the heartbeat
for the team.
If
he didn't care about it and he was like, "It's some in-season trophy, nobody cares,"
then I don't think anybody would have followed suit.
Which I want to say, like, we should also champion that. I think Kobe would have done that. I think all the all-time.
Well, of course, like, Kobe wasn't winning every game.
I was just saying though. I think that we need to give him some credit for that because he really validated this for future to come.
Right, but here's the thing. But see, and I will 100%, give LeBron credit for coming out. Listen, even before, if you notice those games, if the game was on a Tuesday, what was it, Tuesday and Friday? They came out to play. If it was Wednesday, if it was Thursday, if it was Saturday, they didn't come out to play. But if it was a game on Tuesday and on Friday, they came out with a different energy.
Pat, let me ask you something.
Yep.
Is that okay? Is it okay when you're dealing with LeBron at the age he is? This is the first time ever in NBA history you're dealing with a superstar that's playing as well as he is at this age. Is it okay for the team and the coach, and they're not going to say this publicly, but to simply say, look, we're going to be taking it easy on these games. Our only goal is to get in the playoffs. Then we'll play hard. We showed you what we can do in the tournament. Look, we're in 10th right now. That's not good. We're going to get ourselves back up there. We need to do that. But all we're worried about is getting in there. Then we're going to let our horses go. We're going to go run. We're going to show what we can do in the spurts in the playoffs because there's more time off for our older player. There's more of this. Anthony tends to get injured. They're not going to come out and say, yeah, we just don't care so much about the regular season. We just want to make sure. But is it okay if that is their strategy and they just don't tell us about it?
I mean, even then, I'm thinking that's like a stretch, like to think that they'll be thinking like the way, because what I'm seeing is, first of all, number one, we're wasting a career year from AD, just wasting it, just wasting it.
Well, we don't know.
No, we wasting
if they make it to the playoffs. Then succeed.
I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying. I'm saying
he's doing. It's not any. If the Lakers do not make the playoffs,
then it
is nothing to do with Anthony Davis.
Someone needs to get fired.
It's not Anthony Davis.
If they don't make it, then someone needs to get fired because strategy is bad.
You put Anthony Davis in any other team playing this way, and they're number 1, number 2 seed in any conference. It doesn't matter because he's playing that well. Yes. He's playing defensive player. He's playing like defensive player of the year, and he's also getting the rebounds. A lot of people, he wasn't really. Remember when AD would come out there with 8 rebounds, 9 rebounds in the game? He's getting like 12.5 rebounds a game now, with 25, 26 points a game, with 2 blocks, a couple of steals here and there. He is consistent. And remember, the reason why we were 19 and 21, because AD was hurt. Now AD's not hurt. We got full AD. With all the stuff that we say, AD's going to get hurt, and he's going to miss all these games. We're going to have to deal with AD being hurt. AD ain't hurt. So now I need to see where all the other stuff come in. And this is what I look at when we talk about, we can look at LeBron, but we can also look at players 3 through whatever. Because they are the ones that's supposed to take the step up to go ahead and bring this team on. It's like when you see a team that's firing on all cylinders, it's not just the top 2. It's like, damn, their point guard is like getting some all-star kind of buzz. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, they got like a big 3 maybe on certain days. It's a collective group right now that's actually balling. Like, you don't see any of that. And I'm like, I like Hachimura, I like Reeves, I like D'Angelo Russell, I like these players. But D'Angelo Russell can show you what he can do when he gets consistent. And like, he got that 39-point game in him sometimes. But it's like, let him play. Where's Hachimura going to give me 20? Like, bro, y'all going to, like, LeBron ain't doing it today? I got you. Like, who's the person? And we got Taurean Prince. Not saying he's supposed to be this guy, but it's like, you got to get me
every once in a
while. You got to give me 40. You got to give me 40% from 3. That's what the joke around with Lakerland, whoever's not a Laker fan. The joke is when you come to the Lakers, your shot will get broke. Like, all of a sudden, don't matter where you go, it get broke. You look at Malik Beasley and you're mad because this fool is hot again. He's back to being Malik Beasley.
Yeah.
Before he comes in there, his shot is broke. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? No, that's a product. It is. I mean, it is. It's like she's a pressure cooker, right? But it's like, that's what I'm saying. When are the other guys going to step up to help these people there? Because we don't have who's our third best player? You can't really say Reeves. We thought it was going to be Reeves, but you can't say definitively it's Reeves.
Right now, it feels definitively like D'Lo.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, now it's like,
and you can't trust D'Lo. That's the problem.
All right. So I think you make some really valid points. I think one of the things, and maybe I'm kind of like contradicting myself, because I do think this is the part of the growing pains aspect that I think this is on the coach, and also let's use context. This season, it hasn't been the superstars that have been injured. It's been everybody else, and it's been people in key specific roles where nobody's been available at the same time. The stuff that he's trying to figure out is stuff that you usually have the first couple weeks of the season to do. It's not like the Lakers had the best record in the West, even when they were winning. When they were winning in-season tournament games, they were having to go extra. There was extra minutes were having to be played by the. You could tell, like you said, that they really wanted those. But let's not act like they were at the top of the entire food chain prior to that. It's really been since then that they struggled. So to me, I think it's a combination of the in-season tournament and then also because of the injuries. Nobody has had a consistent role. Like, you don't know, between Cam and Cam Reddish, which he has played well in a lot in certain spurts where it seems like he's earned at least opportunity to say, is this a Cam Reddish night? You know what I mean? But not starting. Right. You know what I'm saying? Let these players play. Like, let Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell play together. They're playing well together, and they have, going back to last season, and when they've had the opportunity, they've done it this season. So part of the growing pains, but I also think this is a fair criticism of the coach, because there's not anybody who's been in a consistent role, and it doesn't seem like he's going back to the things that have worked because they changed the offense. So I think, like I said, kiss of death was the 5 out.
Pat, since you brought up, I'm gonna ask you on this one. Okay, so you brought up the fact that, of course, everyone knows he's now second-year head coach, and there's going to be growing pains with that, right? So isn't that a mistake right off the bat? That at the end of LeBron's career that they would put in a coach that you have to expect growing pains from? Can't you hold the front office accountable to say, this is not, with the LeBron at the age he is and AD that we got, this is not a team you're growing with. This is a team you win with now. So, and that's not Ham's fault. He got the job, he's going to accept it. But is that a fair criticism of the front office to say, hey, Pelinka, great job, but you put a coach in there that now needs to learn over the next 2 to 3 years. We won't win a title with LeBron in 4 years from now. That's not going to happen. So he may be the best coach then. Great. But did they make the right decision bringing him in as a new coach now for this team?
2 things. One, none of these decisions. Well, one, there's always a fair. There's always an unfair scope, in my opinion, just from the media in general. I know we're fans, but we know that there's always unfair scope on the decisions that are made, and also each front for a lot of people who don't know. As having opportunity to talk to people in front offices, each one's run differently. So the type of power that a player has, they all have influence, but the degree that they have it is different depending on the player, right? Like, for instance, those type of decisions are not going to be made without LeBron, Anthony Davis being confirmed. They might not be the person making the decision. And to LeBron's credit, I think he's stepped back compared to other places that he's gone, because other places weren't equipped to make those decisions, or shown that they can make those decisions. And then my second thing that I would say is, you could say that that exactly what you asked me. People were asking the same thing about Eric Spoelstra. This is LeBron's prime. We have LeBron, the prime version of LeBron right now.
Yeah, why is Spoelstra here?
Yeah, why is Spoelstra here? So, well, time is going to tell that, and maybe that's not a strong enough answer for you, but it can go either way, where it's like, hey, what if we don't win in LeBron's prime, but in his twilight he gets it together and they make the right decisions around it, so that they win 3 or 4 championships after LeBron's gone, with the coach. So to me, it's really time will tell, but I actually have a lot of confidence in our front office. I'm obviously biased. I'm a Lakers fan, but I know that the people in the front office personally care, they want to win, and that nobody, I don't care which fan you are. I don't care how angry you are. You want them to sell a team. You do not care about the Lakers winning more than Jeannie Buss does. I can promise you that. So, even whether you feel like she's doing a great job of it or not, or letting the right people make the decisions, you don't care more than they do, and you never will. So, we just have to sit back and see and let the people who have won 17 championships figure it out.
Money Mike, you have the mic. How do you feel?
It's so much to unpack with what Petty was saying because I'm looking about. We talk about LeBron's decisions, right? So one of LeBron's decisions, correct me if I'm wrong, was to bring Westbrook over here, right? We saw how that
he had
panned
to have
out.
signed off on that. That's exactly what I thought.
We saw how that panned out. One of LeBron's decision was, and it did not happen, was to bring Kyrie over here, and we saw,
how's that going with Luka right now?
Well, last season though it was really bad.
But we knew he needed the whole half a season.
Yeah,
it was really bad.
I'm just saying you never know.
So, but I love what Pelinka did. I love what Pelinka did instead of because he actually put together a team. I'm big on. They'll tell you that I don't like getting name brand players. I like getting players that are going to be able to play the role that they need in order for us to be a good, 9-player rotation team. Name brand players is cool, but if they don't fit the role, then it's only one basketball. So I like the moves that Pelinka made. I like what the moves that Pelinka made in the offseason. I think right now it literally has to be about decisions, mentality on if we're going to win every night. And for some reason, I don't feel like they have that mentality that they want to win every night.
I think that's indisputable, being how they performed in the tournament.
Yeah, and like I said, I think that is more of a symptom. I don't think we felt that way prior. I think they were trying to figure things out, but I think before up into the tournament, I don't think we felt, hey, these guys don't care about winning the games. Even though we obviously saw a difference in effort, but that's just human nature, and that's why I'm so excited and happy that we have the in-season tournament.
But see, that's so ridiculous though, because the in-season tournament means nothing if we don't even make the playoffs.
No. It means nothing to Lakers fans. It means nothing to.
If we don't win the playoffs, it means nothing. Here's the thing.
No, let me finish.
The Nuggets were tripping about winning this in tournament. You know what I mean? They trying to get a ring.
Absolutely not.
We were the only ones trying to go out there.
We
went against the Pacers. And nobody even talking about the Pacers right now.
No, and that's completely fine. Completely fine.
What's gonna hurt?
Halliburton got hurt.
I'm saying though, basketball is also entertainment. And the regular season is a slog, not just for nobody was talking about basketball. We weren't talking about anything happening in December basketball this time of year outside of we need to get this guy off the team or we need to make these trades. So a credit to Adam Silver and the NBA for giving us basketball is entertainment for us, and the regular season is a part of basketball. Regardless of that, it's the same 82 games that Jordan had to play is the same 82 games that
is way different.
Tyrese Halliburton.
These 82 games.
Actually, that's not true.
These 82 games that Jordan had to play.
That is actually not true.
Are way different than 82 games now.
83 because the tournament game didn't count, and you actually specifically mentioned Halliburton. So if he made it, it's 83.
Well, I mean, as far as regular season games, because that's not considered a regular season. It doesn't count.
Hey, look, back in the game, back in the Jordan era, there were teams where it was must-see TV. You know what I mean? When Jordan was playing, you wanted to see Jordan every night.
Or you want to watch the Knicks?
When Magic was playing, you wanted to see Magic every night. No, I mean, it's sad. Am I lying?
No, you're not.
Am I lying?
Stacked.
There were teams when the Rockets were playing, you wanted to see them every night.
I'm calling cap. I'm calling cap.
Mike,
right
I'm going to call you on this. I'm going to say.
Well, I know what you're saying because I was going to say. I mean, because it's.
You wanted to see Dominique Wilkins.
Look. I would tell you this: the league back in the day, and we got to admit this, that shit was top heavy, hella top heavy.
Yeah.
Hell, you're talking about the teams that you want to see that are must see.
Yeah.
But you look at seed 5 through the rest of the conference, and it's trash. You know what I'm saying? I think the NBA really, really are looking at the NFL and okay, parity sells,
and the
not this superstar. That's just East versus West stuff. That sold, but parity sailed because you know why? Because everybody feel they got a chance.
It's safer.
It's
a safer bet for the league because they spread out their odds on winners instead of having one big winner. But if he doesn't make it, the whole season's crap because Jordan's not in the final, so nobody's watching anymore. It's now they've spread it out, and it's not as big of a win, but they have more chances of winning.
Well, the thing about the collective bargaining agreement, to your point, actually has made specifically for that, where it's hard for you to even keep talent together. Like, you're going to pay a lot if you really are trying to keep some talent together, and it's going to limit you after a certain amount of years. So I think for the most part that is better. I think that's a better, like you said, it's going to be better for the league. But I just want to push back mainly on Mike just saying that it doesn't matter because the regular season does matter. Like, at the end of the day, we're wanting to get entertained. And I agree. I am a Laker fan. The actual results of the in-season tournament are not what matter. It's not the results. It's the fact that the players care about it. Human nature. You can say, oh, if they're making this amount of money, there's people who watching this show right now or at home who make millions and millions of dollars and are the laziest people and don't work. And if you have the opportunity to make a lot of money doing a little, you'll do it too. So to me, that's just
but shouldn't they care, but just as much to be able to make the playoffs to win the championship?
I remember specifically. I mean, so many games that I would watch the Lakers, and whether this is Kobe and Odom or Kobe and Shaq, and they would go out and they would play one hell of a game and absolutely demolish, and then they'd go out against a team and they just wouldn't show. And it would drive me nuts. It isn't something that is specifically to this team. This is something that I think that frustrates every season.
Yeah, but but listen,
it's
sports
psychology, like that's why you have. Why do you think they add the $500,000 to the winnings?
To give them a reason to play.
To give the players a reason to play. And you can say, oh, well, they're already making this money, at the top. But that doubled players' salaries who were at the bottom of the
list. I feel that, listen, you make extra money if you make the playoffs.
Not that much money, but
you make extra money.
Not as much money as you make for winning the in-season tournament. No, I'm just telling you.
Look. Here's
the thing. Mike. What's more valuable? What's more valuable, an in-season tournament or a ring?
If they had gone out,
well, we're just having a disingenuous argument because we know damn well we want the ring over this.
Well, so I mean,
but I never said that.
I know that's what I'm saying. So I'm just going to stop there because we're not going to answer that question because we all know what's most important.
Because it's almost like
that doesn't mean they can't.
It's not
focus on that in the mid-season.
But it kind of is, though, because for me, me personally, the way that they were playing when it was a tournament game or when in season tournament, I want them to play like that, exactly like that, to try to get a ring.
If we zoom forward to June 21st,
we may not make the playoffs.
Hang on. No, June 21st, finals are done, Lakers are champions. You care how they did it?
No.
Do you care what this? Are you even coming back in your memory?
Matter of fact, next year he's going to be quiet because he's like, well, we did it before.
If LeBron gets 5, man.
I mean, that's going to be your worst nightmare.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
that's your worst nightmare. Because you don't want him to be tied with Kobe. I know that. That would not.
No, you're not concerned with the road too. This team doesn't need to have some crazy.
I don't want 500 basketball.
Motivated. They're not a young
I don't want
team.
500 basketball.
I think the Lakers.
Yeah, but do you care if it's 501 in the playoffs and they win?
I don't want 500 basketball. I want home court advantage.
Okay,
so then that's a ring you won't wear?
I'll wear the ring.
You know what's crazy about that? Now, I can't say this. You do not want in the playoffs to play the Lakers in your house on game 1. I'm going to tell you right now.
Yeah, it don't matter.
Because we've already proved that. So when we're talking about we need home court advantage, I'm going to tell you, we gunned for that number one, that first game, and we get it. We only didn't get it against Denver because we got shell-shocked in the beginning, and if LeBron was taking those stupid-ass threes at the end of the game, we would have stole that game and won that one. And then he would have done that.
Changes the whole
we would have split going into game 3, and you know how we do it in game 3. So I'm just saying, it's just my razor edge that we lost that game.
And to your point,
but you guys
I trust LeBron in a game 1. I know,
I do.
I don't care how you feel about it. He's shown throughout his history that he can go in someone's
house
in an away game and win one early.
We've done it though, but we've got that.
And we got the best. We got the best away.
We've done it though
in the entire NBA.
Oh yeah, we tried.
So, buddy, we've done it though. See, I know you're skeptical, but I'm just saying the person that you're thinking that can't do it already done it.
Basketball.
I'm looking
And
at
he did it against the Warriors. When no one gave us a shot to win game 1 against the Warriors. No one's giving us a shot. That's what I'm saying. I didn't think we were going to lose. Maybe game 2, but not game 1.
I feel that for last year. This year, the mentality in the top 4 seeds that's playing, they playing there for basketball right now.
Do you think
and they're young?
Do you think
they're young?
And they're hungry.
That is different.
And Edwards is scaring me right now.
Oh, Edwards is that guy though. But I told you when we did who's your favorite? One of your favorite players? I said Anthony Edwards is my favorite player. He's good right now because he's that guy.
Right.
He's that dude, and he's like the reason I like about Anthony Edwards because everybody was getting so much talk. Everybody's getting run. Everybody's talking. Everybody talking about everybody.
Quiet.
The young dudes, all these young dudes, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm number 1 pick, but y'all don't feel me like that. You don't feel me like that." And now he has that dog in him. Like he taking big shots.
Yeah.
He putting on the team in the back. You feel me? Like, dude,
the AE1s right here.
dude, see, and I'm telling you, to me, that's why I like him because he literally he said, "Towns, this is my team now, bro. This is my team."
He tried to motivate, but he tried to motivate him at first. I remember first he's like, "Hey man, you're that guy. You have all this ability and skill," and he was like, "You know what? I'm gonna have to do it myself." And to his credit, we're not gonna get into the scandal itself, but the one thing that let me know he was built differently as a basketball player is a lot of the young players, when they go through that kind of scandals and those things like that, they shrink back and they play worse. You know what I mean? But he the next game he came out and dropped 35 on him. And people stopped talking about it.
That's Kobe
that's
right there.
I know,
wrong,
that's what I'm saying. He has the Kobe
he's
kind
the
of
one
gene.
people have started to say,
but then it's too late now. But it's too not. You know what I'm saying? Like it's too late now. Because he's already comfortable. See, he's not scared of Ja. He's not scared of any of these young guards. He's like De'Aaron Fox. He's not scared of none of that. Like you got to guard me. Like I'm still gonna put 26 on you. Like he is really built different. And I'm telling you, like he took Towns' team. Pretty much saying you my Batman. You're not my Robin. You know what I'm saying? I was drafted to be part of help you. You helping me. You know what I'm saying? And now you got like Sacramento. I mean, have an identity.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we got. I call him Joker light because Sabonis is doing these Joker type things, and you're like, damn, he's got what? He got 16 points, 12 rebounds, 13 assists, some blocks. It's like now, like to your point. We're getting these teams that were not before balling. Now they're here, and now you're looking at where's the Suns?
And that's why it's
where's the Warriors? Where are all these teams that were supposed to be
and
there?
all the older players.
And the Clippers are balling. Nobody's mentioned it.
Oh, we see it, but we don't.
Yeah, I need them to fail. They gonna fail though. I mean, we know they're gonna do.
But that's why I'm pushing back.
I don't know how they are, but they are.
Petty.
That's why I'm pushing back on you about talking about 90s basketball. I don't take anything from any accomplishments, but like you said, completely top heavy. The NBA, you could watch on a Monday night and watch the Knicks versus the Cleveland Cavaliers, and it would have been an amazing game to watch. You had out there John Starks out there fighting for his life, and they were getting cooked back there in the 90s. And
that was a great storyline with New York, though.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying,
like the Knicks are probably a bad example just because the fans are so diehard.
I mean, yeah,
but
like come on,
like, actually
Patrick Ewing, John Starks.
Basketball.
Oh, come on, man.
You couldn't have an OKC in 1997 or 1998. You couldn't. You have them for a year where it bubbled up and some player came out there. And then he went and left to another team.
Big time.
I'm just saying, or you know what I'm saying, or he was a lifer.
It's great.
Didn't win a championship.
Clothesline, got hurt, and then like
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Or he's
we all know how Wemby would have been greeted in the league.
Right. Oh yeah.
Or he's a lifer, right? At a team doesn't win a championship because he does it the Mike way, and he didn't have the right GM, or didn't have the stack house, or
what exactly is the Mike way?
I'm just saying that you.
It's with onions, mustard, and cheese.
Right? No, I feel like the Mike way is like I feel like you're stuck in 1989, 1990s basketball where it's like, hey, it has to be done this authentic way. It's not a business. It's about like having loyalty, and there's organizations who are like that. I think the Lakers. I think Spurs. I think
Heat.
I'm not gonna say that about the Celtics because Isaiah Thomas. But like you have certain Heat where they have these cultures that because they've won on the highest level, there's a lot of new where they're not used to winning and they don't know how to respond to these situations. And we see that that's why LeBron left Cleveland, frankly, right? Even though you might have your feelings about that, he brought them there a bunch of times they couldn't put a team around him, right? And he needed to learn how to win, right? He even said so himself. So I just think that like you're misremembering. I mean, it's a business. It's a business.
I was gonna say something, but
I'm just saying, like, and you can push back on it, but I just feel like you kind of look at it as it's not the same way it was then, and it's a business first, and then it's and it's entertainment second, and then everything else is after that.
All right, man. I just want us to be able to put together a good 5-6 games in a row.
I think we can all agree on that.
And be consistent.
I think we're going to.
I want LeBron to be the leader that I expect him to be, and right the ship. I think AD is like he's playing like lights out basketball, and we're just
defensive player of the year this year.
We're completely wasting that simply because I just don't feel like. And look, let me say it like this. There's a mentality on Lakers right now that I don't like, and they need to change that mentality. I am blaming LeBron for that. It may not be LeBron, but I'm blaming LeBron for that mentality that I'm seeing the Lakers have. Whatever it is, it needs to change. Somebody needs to go in there, have a team player meeting, whether it could be Austin Reeves calling it. Somebody has to go and say and rally together from a player perspective and say, listen, we need to get together, change our mentality, and go out there and win every game. Darvin Ham, he cool. I've been watching him for 2 years. I don't know what offense they really running. I don't know what they ain't got. They never had sets the whole time there. You know what I mean? I don't know when the pick and roll is coming. Look, Darvin Ham has been doing what Darvin Ham has been doing. But he's been doing it when they're successful. Nobody's saying anything. Like doing the tournament. Now it's unsuccessful and everybody is out for it. He's doing the same as that thing, though. So my question is, what is different? What is different between the tournament play and
okay? Let me ask you.
Players
because people were hurt doing tournament play too.
I can tell you right now, players were no longer hurt. People's roles were changing after that, who had put in work and helped win that tournament, who no longer were getting the same minutes, or because they helped in that, they had taken somebody's spot. So, and people were, like you said, injured, coming back. They're trying to include people in there, plus the fatigue factor. Like, legitimately, you can call it what you want, but I'm just saying
it's hard to keep that level up.
You couldn't get a week of playoff. You couldn't do a week of playoff basketball every month.
You couldn't keep that level up.
You couldn't keep that level up.
I would say this real quick. So what I'm hearing is we don't want to put the blame on Darvin Ham.
I don't think it's more of a blame pie.
Or we don't want to put the blame on LeBron. Who's to blame then?
Both.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm thinking it's a little bit of both, and it's not.
I work with that
because I'm not going to go ahead and say it's all LeBron, and he has to be the one to motivate this team because LeBron needs to motivate AD. That's his job. His job is to motivate AD.
He's been doing his thing, though.
What I'm saying is Darvin Ham needs to look. If you're a rah-rah coach, then I need you to look like Antonio. Just excuse me to go ahead and go to football, but I'm a Raider fan, and I'm excited about my new coach. But Antonio Pierce, how he goes out there, and he got the best out of these players because he motivated them to get the best out of these players, okay? That's what that looks like. All these guys that got their head down, and all of a sudden now they're smoking cigars in the locker room. What I'm saying is you need to motivate the Austin Reeves in the world or the D'Angelo Russells. Like, that's who you need to make sure they're playing it consistent because the superstars are going to play consistent. They will get their act together. You need to be responsible for the management of the whole team. And if LeBron got to do that too, like I'm just saying they got to be somebody. The blame just can't be on one person or Ham or just LeBron. It got to be both of them got to come together and make sure that they both right the ship because it's really – we all give LeBron the credit anyway, right? He's supposed to be the coach on the team or the coach on the floor. Well, he need to go ahead and get them up and running. The same thing with Darvin Ham, and I just believe we like to point at one of the other. And I'm just saying this is a leader problem, and that goes with those those two guys.
So I mean, I think you make good points. It's hard to say, right? Because it's different. The difference between hearing about what happened in the locker room and being in the locker room, if you've ever played a sport, different thing, right? So I would say that I think the fact that we can see that if LeBron, like we know that LeBron can motivate the team, right? We know that, right? Because of when LeBron goes out there and he plays a certain way, the team follows his lead, right? We don't know if Darvin Ham is able to motivate a team. I can't tell you. We haven't heard anybody say, besides Cam Reddish, when, of course he's got a reason to say that because he's playing Cam Reddish like he helped him win a championship.
He's trying to give him a new contract or something.
Exactly. Like,
thanks, Pops.
Exactly. He's like, oh man, I just want to thank, he's like when they after the game, he's like, I just want to thank, Darvin Ham, my coach Travis. Of course, he definitely has faith in you because you dropping 2 points and playing 25 minutes.
Right.
Yeah, and I think the biggest, side note, I think the biggest criticism that I've seen for Darvin Ham that I agree with is that he hasn't gotten good at making quick in-game decisions. Like being
adjustments.
I don't think he's seen a player having a bad game and then sat them. I think there's mentally there's something that helps players when they're like, oh no, I need to be on point for the next time I have this opportunity. Those players who go in, they get to play their normal thing, and I think because he's a player's coach who knows what it's like to get sat like that, he don't want to do that. But like you have to do that, and I think that's like the criticism of him that that is deserving, not to get too off point.
Well, then I think that you can sum that up with winning is not the priorities. If it was, then it wouldn't matter how those players are feeling. He would be coaching for wins, period. And but sometimes it's a marathon.
And
it's
trade
not
deadline
a sprint.
too.
Yeah, that's
and trade.
We gotta see what we look like after. I mean, after All-Star break is when we supposed to really start paying attention.
Trade deadline too for players right now. This is a hard time.
Just opened. Yeah.
This is a hard time
for players
them
that resign.
because I think one thing that the Lakers have done that we have noticed is that like players kind of know ahead of time when they're gonna get traded, which is like sometimes not the same with other ones. Like, but I've noticed that the Lakers are like, hey, we want to let you know because you'll know because the player starts playing worse, which is. It sucks in the time, but it's something that like is, in my opinion, like a necessary evil.
I don't think a trade would help right now, though. Personally, I don't.
It's not going to change.
If you get Murray and Clint Capella,
I'll let you guys know right now. It's probably going to happen. That's all I'll say. Probably.
With Murray?
No. I'm saying a trade, whether it's around the margins or a big one.
Something's going to happen.
Something has to happen.
I'm just letting y'all know.
They can't just stay
mentally prepare yourself one way or the other.
No, I mean, I'm not really necessarily attached to anybody at all. Maybe AD.
Well, I mean,
maybe
AD and LeBron are untouchable.
AD, LeBron, and I would say Reeves is probably less likely just because of his contract and the level of what you're getting from him from the contract. He's probably like the closest thing to not going to be traded because of that. Otherwise, as much as I like them, if this is the coach that we're going with, everyone talking about firing him. If that happens, we're punting the season.
Yeah.
Who's out there? Nobody.
No, Doc Rivers.
Look,
you want Doc Rivers?
Everyone's saying, "Oh, what? Phil Handy?" Yeah, no, we do not want Doc Rivers.
No,
it was like, what? Phil Handy? It's
No.
like, I love Phil Handy as a player's coach.
And we're going to do the same thing again.
If he wanted to be a head coach, he would have been a head coach by now. I don't think that's his passion.
Yeah.
I think many teams would have given him the chance. I think he loves what he does. He loves his role. You put him in there again. You're with a first-year head coach who's now, can we strike gold? Perhaps. But you're taking chances again. I think one narrative we need to change, then we're going to get out of here because we're running on time, is wasting. I think that term is not quite it doesn't apply yet because you can say we wasted. So I would ask you to say, okay, looking last season, we had this same record. Did we waste? Were we wasting a year with LeBron? Were we wasting a year with AD? No, they made it through to the Western Conference Finals. So to say wasting, we don't know. It's just a little too soon to say we're wasting anything away. Now, if we're at the end of March and we're in 12th, then I'll say yes. We wasted the season.
Okay. Well, we're gonna see.
But right now, it's a little.
Well, let's see.
Yeah, we'll have to see. So, but if all of a sudden
that's why it's in progress. That's why it is wasting.
Like you can't say wasting.
Not wasted.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
That's what we're.
You're like, what
it's
are
currently
we
happening now.
Is it being wasted? We really don't know.
We don't know what happened. We
may
gotta look
say
back
this
and
pays
see
dividends in rest for them, or who knows, even though they're
that
balling.
was a big criticism that right now, had it been we didn't have the last season, it would be way heavier from the fans and from the media. But last year we had that criticism. Trades were made, and trades, they do two things. Not only do they make your roster more dynamic or stronger, but they also refresh the locker room and add some people in there who are not burnt out from whatever, who want to listen to what the coach is saying, right? Who are new, so they're trying to buy in or trying to get their new contract. So there's things that come from that beyond, and I feel like we need to stop pretending basketball is not, or that sports is not psychological.
Oh, there's a huge point to that.
It's like I want the same thing where the guys that go out there and play like their life depended on it because it's more exciting. And if they lose, we
say they gave it their all.
Exactly.
They just got outplayed today.
Exactly.
Sure, that'd be great to say every day, but unfortunately, I remember so many games that I would get so frustrated. Especially, I bring up Odom specifically because we all knew him, the Candy Man, Mr. Inconsistent. He'd go out there for a game and play so well, and then he disappeared.
Or how they talked about Powell.
Or how they talked about Powell. I mean, I just and I would look and I'd always say, "Isn't this coaching? Isn't it the coaching who has to get this team ready every night? Isn't coaching? What are you going to do? Complain about Phil Jackson at the time? No. So it just seems to be.
And it's hard. I don't care what anyone says. Like the psychological toll of being with social media and being like basketball players are stars on a higher level in general than they were when in the 90s and stuff like that. Like Michael Jordan was bigger than life, but
Michael Jordan wouldn't have survived nowadays.
That's what
there's no way
they would have burned him down somehow.
So yeah. In my opinion,
allegations.
in my opinion, it's harder than ever, right? To that mental aspect. Like it's always say, don't look at social media. I do content on social media, and I turn off all my notifications so that I don't see everything, and I still go through the comment section, even though I say I'm not going to, and I would advise you against it. We do it because it's psychology. We care about what other people think, and it affects us. And you can try and say you don't, and on some level we don't. And when we have to be courageous and push through those things. But you know what the number one fear is in society? It's public speaking, because we care about what other people think about us than we should. So let's not act like that's just not a part of the game. That's a part of it, and it can be used as an excuse, indeed, and that people have to be introspective when it comes to that. But we can't sit here and act like mental things that affect people are not part of the game.
It's part of life. It affects how well we do our job. It even affects how Money Mike finishes the show. Because as we all know, and Petty, I'm sure as you know, but if you don't, we always finish the show here with a segment we call Money Mike's Out of Bounds. It's really easy. Money Mike's going to share his. It really is easy. It's always easy.
Money Mike's going to disagree with me, and then we good.
Money Mike's going to share. Hang on. Money Mike's going to share his thoughts or opinions on a topic, and it's really simple. He just wants to know if those thoughts or opinions are in bounds or out of bounds. Money Mike, you got the mic.
Hey, so I knew Petty was coming in, so I had, so since I was coming in, I was looking at a couple of quotes. There was a quote in the podcast interview. It wasn't on our podcast, unfortunately, from Carmelo Anthony. I don't know. Did y'all hear what he said?
About?
He said that the Denver Nuggets were being petty by giving Jokic his number because they're trying to erase the history that he had in Denver. Now, I remember he did everything he could to get out of Denver.
He wanted to go home.
He wanted to get paid.
I remember he was kicking and screaming and damn near sabotaging everything that he was doing. Jokic was the 42nd pick of the draft in the second round. Mm-hmm. He ain't no number one pick.
And they didn't know.
And they didn't know what they had. They had this dude. It was a Taco Bell commercial when this dude was going. So I think, Carmelo is just salty for no reason because he knows there's no way that his number's going to get because somebody did better than his number. Am I out of bounds of saying that Carmelo is just being shady? We're trying to shade Denver for calling them petty for doing that.
Petty.
Do I say why out of bounds or just out of bounds?
No. If you agree with me, you inbounds.
He's inbounds.
So I guess it's not snowing in San Diego because I definitely disagree with you.
You disagree?
Yes. Okay. So hear me out. I was one of the people that my tweet had gone viral because I responded to that. I agree. I liken it to the situation of like so to me, business can never be personal. And I know that's unrealistic because of what I was telling you earlier, but eventually you got to put that to the side because what Carmelo is to the game versus what he was for the Nuggets are two different things. And when it comes to number, we look at what them retiring, a lot of people retiring Michael Jordan's number, or depending on, because of, his contribution. To me, I think they're doing it the same way that they tried to do with Kyrie when they were upset that that he wanted out. I think there's people who are burned, and don't get me wrong, like Melo burned bridges. He did what he did so he can be able to get to New York. We're not even doing that, but eventually time goes on. And why would you want when they retire that, number? Because the Nuggets, his stint there with the Nuggets is important to the history of, of basketball and stuff. So I just feel like there is a bit of an erasure that, going there, especially when you gave it to the number 42 pick of the, even though that was his number before. I mean, come on, you just be like, oh, we're going to probably retire this number someday, or like retire, just say like, hey, this number, because it's Melo.
It proves that they never intended to retire. Stat.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. You definitely. You probably got a toe on the line. So,
you're not agreeing with me.
You got a toe on the line. What I'm saying is this, dude.
What are you talking about? How you thought that agree with me?
You know why?
Petty just being petty, so I know you're agreeing with me.
Look, I'm gonna tell you right now because I think we're alluding to it. When somebody played in your organization and actually took your team as the face of the franchise to the Western Conference Finals against Kobe Bryant and Pau Gasol with George Karl, they were a team that you could name: Chauncey Billups, Kenyon Martin, Carmelo Anthony. Like, I mean, was J.R. Smith on that team?
Yeah, he was.
Wasn't Rajah Bell on that team?
Yeah.
I mean, you can go down the line and start looking at all with that Dante Jones. I don't know. Whoever pushed Kobe in the back, going for that layup.
Yeah.
Like, this team. And if this team I'm aiming all these teams off, and you give that number to somebody else, that's automatically petty from the jump. Like, I mean, you can't even look at it differently. And the fact that, remember, we were talking about this a year ago after the championship. We were saying that, I think his number is not his number. We talked about it on this show.
Right.
It just got picked up when a lot of people are like saying, like Shannon Sharp, like, yeah, I think it's his number is gone. It's like, and he's looking at it from a mile away. So he's looking at, that's the first MVP. Oh, that's the second MVP? And he got that number? He already thinking.
He got the ring. When he got the ring, it was over.
No one's saying that. Over.
And
before the ring, it was over. Before the ring, when he had 2 MVPs in the league, it was over.
Yeah.
That number was not his number anymore.
Yeah.
And he didn't have to wear the ring. In that franchise, he already got erased.
Yeah.
Now he's erased nationally. Now it's worldwide. They already erased him when he had 1, 2. Who's the better 15 again?
No, it's not. It's not even comparison. I'm not telling you that Carmelo's better than. I'm not saying that about him. If we're talking about a specific aspect, yeah, I think he's a better scorer. But there's more aspects to basketball besides that, than just scoring.
Yeah.
Right? So to me, I'm 100% with him. Like he's gonna be his number.
All right, Jeff, you got my back.
You knew before he left the Knicks that he was gonna be.
We'll see. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Is Melo a Hall of Famer?
Yes.
Okay. Is Melo a Hall of Famer?
Absolutely.
Okay. What jersey is he going in?
The thing is, you got to go
What
in
jersey?
I mean, he got to go in 15.
What team?
Well, it's not. Well, I mean, he's going to go as a Knick now.
Done. Well, what team would he have gone?
He should have went as a Nugget.
Okay. Do you believe he would have gone as a Nugget?
If he would have had 15, it would have been just okay. I think so because it's like
That's
this.
a good question.
So it's like this.
Is he petty if he goes in as a Nugget at 15?
No, he can't.
He can't now.
He can't go now. I mean, it's out of his control.
That's not his number.
He got to go in.
You know what the thing
It's
is?
out of his control now.
Jokic
So
don't
he
even
number
like
7?
basketball like
Like
that.
that.
He might not even show
I'm
up to
riding
his
the
own.
line. I'm going to go inbounds and out of bounds.
Ah.
You're inbounds for the fact that.
See, towing the line, man.
Yeah.
He's towing the line,
he's
dude.
so
That's what I'm saying. He's out of bounds.
But
He's not both.
Hey man, cut the show. Engineer, cut the show.
It wasn't a layup, bro.
You know, I think other teams use different criteria than the Lakers. Lakers, like, if you're not going in the hall in our jersey, I don't think you should.
We used to have other criteria.
You know, but I do believe that you're out of bounds a little bit, because I do believe that team, Denver, should have had the ability to celebrate one of their greatest players that played for that team. And he didn't just play for a year. He didn't get traded there for 1 year and then leave. He wasn't like, Kawhi. Even like Kawhi up in Toronto, you're like, should he get retired? I don't know. He got him their title, but damn, he got 1 year. It's
like DeRozan's getting retired for sure. Like, they didn't give him DeRozan's number, even though he's a better player.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That was
it
calculated, bro. They did it.
Oh, they did.
They did it on purpose, and that's
they said,
the thing.
Here's the numbers that are available.
Silent retired numbers.
They may have even limited it to like 3 numbers and pick from these 3.
He just gave him the number. Here, they laid it out. This is your number.
They said, here's your number.
This is your number. 15.
Yeah.
No, but he was like, people have said, hey, this was his number before. That's the non-issue. It should have been like, hey, I want 15, because I would be surprised, based on how Jokic talks about basketball, if he knew that Carmelo's number was. He wouldn't. And that's what I'm saying. That's the other thing. Like,
he doesn't care.
Like, he gives Joker gives.
They're like, we have 14. He's like, okay. I don't care.
Like Joker goes out there and it's like he does his job. He's like one of those people who hates his job, but he's good at it, right? He doesn't care about basketball. He's not gonna be around for events right after he retires and stuff like that. Melo, even now, like, he's doing stuff. He's doing his podcast.
He's
in
a
New
face
York.
of the league. Was a face of the league.
Yeah, and so, like, to me, it's just in poor taste, because they probably don't have the infrastructure that they have without Melo putting a shine on that organization, saying like, "Hey, we drafted this player. Hey, they made a good team." Like, that also built up their organization.
And let me ask you this: and by no means are they the same player by status or wins, but I mean, did anyone leave a team more egregious or in a worse way than Shaq? Pay me my money to Jerry Buss. But
you understood what that was, though.
I don't. Oh, so it's okay because you understood what that was.
You understood what
that was.
But
I mean, he said,
money.
You understood what that was. I mean,
money.
Come on, I mean, that's egregious. That's just like straight fuck you to the best fucking.
But it also
or the way they did LeBron,
and
when
we
he
still
left.
retared the jersey.
We talk about
LeBron's
numbers.
number away? Like,
no.
Did they get LeBron's number away when he was in when he left the Cavs and went
23?
to
No.
Are you sure?
I don't think so.
They didn't. I don't think they
that
gave him.
bad.
No.
I'm gonna Google that.
So-
see if
so
they did.
I don't think he got.
So if the worst ran franchise in sports, let's pivot.
No
Since
way.
the worst ran didn't do that, why would
Yeah.
that it's just in poor taste,
So-
and also it's not in spirit of what the NBA is about, which is honoring
Celebrate
its
great
players.
players. Yeah.
I mean, we honor players that we shouldn't. I'm talking about you, Utah. I'm just saying, let's not pussyfoot around it. They honor the players of the past. Always, even there's issues where Jordan had issues with the front office. We've seen some of the things in the news most recently.
We didn't even get to that.
But he still, hey man, I'm sorry I couldn't make it. Or like showed up to certain events and things like that, because it's they honor each other. You know what I'm saying?
Supposedly the league is bigger.
Time heals those things too.
We're going to have to have a Petty part 2, man.
We'll keep going. All right. We do have to go. Petty, thank you so much. Please let everyone know the best way to keep up to date with what you got going on.
At the Pettiest LA on all platforms, at Culture Vultures TV on IG, and at Infinity Studios if you want to watch our show.
InfinityTV.com.
Yeah.
We got it. We'll be back here next Tuesday. I hope we're talking about some better Laker
We will.
records here,
We
guys.
will.
We out. Thanks, guys.
Peace.
Peace.